Welcome, those of you watching on the YouTubes, and those of you not watching on the YouTubes because you're here with me right now. But those of you watching on YouTube, you wouldn't know because you're not here right now, unless you were one of the people who is here right now. So that's going to be the start of my YouTube intro for the set review, which seems like a good idea to me. Anyways, I'm going to review all of these cards with a mind mostly to wild, but if I think it'll be good in standard, I'll probably say so. And I'm going to start with the neutrals because they're relevant to every class, so we should bask in their glory before we get into the class cards. And that's my story about that. Starting off with Krog the Crater King, the Caterer. Krog the Caterer, 9 mana, 8/7 beast. At the end of your turn, set the attack and health of all enemy minions to 1. Man, if everything didn't have rush, this would actually be the Giga Nuts, wouldn't it? Like the you play this, it semi-clears one board, and then your opponent does something about it. But like, it's not that bad actually. I kind of like process this as general filler, but isn't this probably going to be okay in standard? Maybe. Like the decks that go to 9, I think could use this. Wild would probably need to cheat this out, and if we're cheating this out, it's not, like in a deck that would cheat this out, I imagine you have better targets to cheat out, right? So probably not much wild play. If I was going to use it, it would probably be in some weird pile deck. And I probably will use it in something at some point because it's funny. It also has Curator synergy, so like if I can't think of a better beast for Arena pile, I'll probably play it. Endbringer Umbra, we've played with this, or actually I haven't. I lost all inspiration to do anything with this. I think if this was going to do something wild, it would have done it by now. There isn't anything too exciting, I don't think, but maybe as we go through, we'll think of something else. City Chief Esho, 6 mana, 5/7. If every minion in your deck shares a minion type, give your other minions +2/+2 wherever they are. So the fact that this gives things additional stats right away makes me think it's okay. Like it's a 1 more costing, 1 less damage bloodlust, but it also like it gives them permanent stuff and the rest of your deck. I just like too slow for what I mean. Like a lot of these are going to be too slow practically. I'm just trying to like imagine what I would do with it, because the rest of this, like if I was going to do what do I think is going to see meta playing wild, it would be like 5 cards, and I would knock it out in like a the 5 best cards for the Lost City of Ungoro video, and just talk about their applications. So I'm going to consider all of these as if they were playable and imagine a world, like a deck that I would use it in. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to be Murlocs, right? Because what else is going to only run this type of thing? Only going to run 1 tribe and also be slow enough that you would want to play this, because I think the new Murloc quest is slow, so it could play this if it was willing to run only Murlocs otherwise. Even Shaman? If every minion in your deck shares a minion type, so we'd have to cut Thing from Below. I don't think we're cutting Thing from Below. All right, so Elise the Navigator. Oh my goodness, that's a ton of stuff. Should I give the? Do you guys want my 1 to 3? So 1 is this is completely unplayable. 2 is it's the type of thing that would show up in a marshy deck sometimes, and 3 is it's going to be a good card. All right, so that's my 1, 2, 3. So this is a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. I don't know. Like none of these are so awful that I couldn't play them for content, right? Like they're fine, they do something. If I build a deck with them in mind, they could be a strong play. But yeah, 2 every card. No, there's plenty of stuff that like is just awful. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it's going to be twos. I'm not going to like see. That's why the star system is so awkward, right? Because like so few of these cards are going to be like big, wild, game-changing cards. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not even going to worry about it. You know what, chat? I'm just going to talk about it like I like to do and not worry about the stars. You guys can imagine the stars yourselves, all right? So if your deck started with 10 cards of different costs, craft a custom location. So 4 mana, 3/5. So it'll be either a 1, 5, or 10, kind of like Kazakis. So it's either dealing damage to all enemies on a death rattle. It's the location. And they all have 3 durability. So 10 damage to all enemies, 5, 3. All pretty good for their cost. Except that it's 3 durability. 12 armor. So this is on use, right? So this is death rattle, do this. This would be on use. So it's 12 every time you crack it, 6 every time you crack it, 3 every time you crack it. That's probably pretty good because that's 9 or 18 or 36 armor. That's not bad. And you can summon 6/2/1s, 3/2/1s, or 1/2/1. Summon a 10/10 copy of a friendly minion. Is this targeted? Discover a spell. It costs an amount less. Your next spell is plus. Oh, the next spell has spell damage. It's like Kazakis where you can't really guarantee that. It's like Kazakis where you can't really guarantee what you're getting, right? So building for the spell damage isn't going to be too good. Give your characters +4 attack this turn. That's pretty good. Interesting. So your deck has to start with 10 cards of different costs. Very few. So like Hunter would have a 0. Rogue would have a 0. If we're talking about like Reno, Renathal piles, what is going to have a 0? And the 0 is not going to be stupid. Priest and Warlock have Raised Dead. So some classes can start at 0. Okay, so we can start at 0. And Ceaseless Expanse is 125, so you don't have to go up all the way to 9. You can stop at 8. Yeah, this is fine. A lot of cards would play this. I mean, a lot of them would play this, and even having to go up to 9, or even 10. I think some Reno Renathal piles would just play this, right? So yeah, I think this is, like that's a card that's going to see play, I think, in Wild. Just because like people like to pretend that Wild isn't in a place where you can run just a spaghetti deck, but you can. You can, like, Wild does go to 9 or 10 all the time, depending on how you've built your deck. And yeah, I don't know, that seems perfectly fine in a lot of those decks. You don't even have to run like extra card cost just because. All right, so Torga, draw a Kindred card and another card that activates it. 4 mana, 2/7 beast. Would this be too good if it had taunt for standard? Draw a Kindred card and another card that activates it. I wonder if the... Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on the Kindred cards as we go through. We're gonna have to keep this in mind, because like if a Kindred card is good in like really important to a Wild deck in the future, I could see running Torga to like get the Kindred card and the thing that activates it, especially if the Kindred card is an undead or a beast, right? So like if you need to have played an undead or a beast on the previous turn, then playing Torga just gets you there. So yeah, especially like again in a pile deck, I could totally see it depending on the quality of the Kindred card. So we'll think about that when we get to it. Ravenous Devilsaur, 7 mana, 3/3, battle cry, destroy a minion, Kindred, gain its stats. I mean, it's probably a bit too fair. I think this is probably great for standard, but like, maybe, no, but maybe if Harpoon Gun's still discounted 3, I could see it, but Yes, this is a very good arena card. Is that going to be the commentary all the way through it? Like, chat is just going to say trash and arena card. You guys are so interesting. Anyways, but yes, I don't think this is going to be great. Storm Brewer, 5 mana, 3/6 elemental. When this attacks, deal 3 damage to the target first. Kindred, gain rush. How many elementals does Shaman play these days? I think this actually isn't that bad, but I think there's a lot of stuff like this that's also like not that bad that you like doesn't really get played that much. So there's the thing that deals 3 damage to 3 targets, and then there's the thing that Spammy Arcanist, like, are all just kind of similar things to this, and this requires you to have played an elemental beforehand. So I think if there was a Renethal deck that ran a lot of elementals naturally, it could consider this. Like, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's kind of interesting, but it would have, it's not like strong enough that you're going to go out of your way to build for this. I think it would have to already be running enough elementals and already be the type of deck that would want to play something like that. So then we have Crystal Tendies. So 2 mana, 2/2, tradable. Gain empty mana crystals until both players have the same amount of mana. Honestly, I could see it in Wild, frankly. Like, it's going to end up in people's ETCs for sure, but it's also tradable, right? So, like, when the Druid population is enough, you just get to catch up immediately. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a staple, but, like, even if it's bad, I think it's going to get played because people love to tech, right? So, like, like Kingsbane hasn't been played in upwards of 10,000 years, and people still have Sticky Finger in their ETC. So Druid is much more around than Kingsbane is, and this is just overall just way better than Sticky Finger. So it's interesting in the Guff mirror. Does it go past your limit if you haven't undone it? Like, if your opponent has already played Guff and you haven't, and they get to 15, can you play this and catch up? Because I mean, like, I don't think that affects it as far as like whether or not you'd play it. So who knows? But it's interesting. So I mean, this card will get played whether it's good or not, is my opinion of it. Tortolan Storyteller, 2 for 1/2. At the end of your turn, give +1/+1 to each friendly minion of a different type. Cute Warrior, Menagerie Warrior. I mean, this is at least like funny off meta aggro deck playable, but it's probably just straight up fine in some things. No tribe Sag, it's true, but the Menagerie payoffs typically don't have one. This seems too fair. It's so cheap though, and you can like play it alongside 3 0-cost 1/1s. I think it could be okay. Like, I'm optimistic about it. It might. I don't think it's gonna like make huge waves in Wild, but I think it's playable. Ancient Raptor, 2 for 2/1 beast. Battlecry, choose to gain +3 attack, Divine Shield, or Death Rattle. Summon 2 1/1 plants. I'm sad they didn't bring back Adapt more. There's one quest that references Adapt, but like, I don't know. So 2 for 5/1 beast, 2 for 2/1 Divine Shield, or 2 for 2/1 Death Rattles. Honestly, I think this is decent. Like, if we're playing Beast Hunter, I think this is either like really good tempo with either the Divine Shield or the Death Rattles early, depending on what you're trying to do. Or if you're trying to kill them with a Rhino, you choose the attack option. Why would you ever choose the Death Rattle? Because it's lots of stats? I don't know. I think the Death Rattle is probably better than the Divine Shield in certain spots. No Wind Fury, if only. So I don't know. I think this will be about as good as Beast Hunter is. Like, I don't know that this is a shoe-in from now until the end of time, but I would probably play it. Then we have Ancient Potato. So 4 mana, 4/4 beast, battle cry. Choose to gain stealth until your next turn, elusive or wind fury. Okay, so they're just like spreading the adapts over a few minions here. So you choose to gain stealth until your next turn. Oh, you thought it was a +3 tag and divine shield? Yeah, then that would be a really good card. Yeah, for sure. So it could be a 4 for 4/4 with stealth until next turn. Bad. It could be a 4 for 4/4 elusive. That's bad. 4 for 4/4 wind fury. That's like half. It's bad. It's bad. This one has no upside. Then we have Cloud Serpent, 4 for 4/3, battle cry, get a copy of another elemental or dragon in your hand. There's a warrior card that already does this, right? Aren't there two? Like that, whatever that shredder guy is. I think there's one that does specifically dragon, pirate, murloc or something, and the other one does one of each type. Is that it? Quest copy? So this copy's a quest. I guess we'll have to keep it in mind for the future, but like, so outside of warrior, Rune is each type. You're talking about more recent Rune, right? Aren't there two? And the older one is more specific. Isn't the original one just dragons? The original one is just dragons, and the newer one is one of each type, right? For Rune, something like that. How good do I think this is? What's an elemental or a dragon I'd want multiple of? Core set Alex. So in Druid, you could get additional core set Alexes and play them on your Moran kill turn, but then just play original Alex and get there anyway. I don't know. Sleet Skaters. Yeah, it messes up your messaging, but maybe. Interesting. I think this is something I'll keep in mind as we go through the set, but like, it's got some potential. So then we have Dissolving Ooze. It's a 3 for 3/3. Battle cry, destroy a friendly minion, spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. Spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. Do we know? What is this talking about? Like, why would I want that? Destroy a friendly minion, spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. How does it work? Like, do the bones cost 3 still? Hand buff? Oh, you're getting the stats on your minions in your hand. It's like add the stats of it to the minions in your hand. Is that what it is? Guys, stop telling me about people making OTKs. Just tell me how it freaking works. All right? It's a spell? Oh, how much does the spell cost? It's a 2 mana spell. It's always 2 mana? Oh, okay. Cool. Interesting. Do we already have this card? Is this one of the cards that we got in the event? Did I complete the event? It's still ongoing, right? All right. How good do I think this is? Well, I haven't heard of it and we've already have access to it, so can't be that good. See, what we really want is something to have charge and wind fury. And then we could destroy a giant with this and use that spell on something that can go face. You could do something with this for sure. It's something. All right. 3 for 3/2 Murloc. Battle cry. Your next kindred triggers twice. What was the kindred we already saw? All right. So yeah, not yet. Get double rush. Perfect. We'll keep an eye on that. So battle cry, your next kindred triggers twice. We'll keep an eye on the kindreds. Okay, we can tutor them. We can make them trigger twice. Stranglevine, 3 for 3/2. Death rattle. Give a random friendly minion a random. Give a random friendly minion a random bonus effect and this death rattle. Okay, so as long as you keep having minions the adaptation keeps going. Like bonus effect is adapt, right? It's just kind of the evergreen version of that. So I guess that's why they're doing this. I don't know, it's cute. I imagine it could be okay in standard. I don't think it's anything in wild. Okay, this is the nuts, right? A literal 11 out of 10 card. All right, actual 11 out of 10 card. Best card in the set. Chat. Ultrasaur is such a goofball. What a silly what a silly card that was. I love that they're referencing it again and like making it look small compared to the Ultra Gigasaur. I also love that they're just straight up releasing a vanilla minion that costs more than you can actually get to. Does this mean that for the foreseeable future there will be a way to uncap? Ysera. So as long as this is in standard, because of Ysera, you can play it. Is this power creep? It's some kind of creep. Look at its eyes. All right. I kind of quit playing after Emerald, but this expansion got me hyped. Nice. You can evolve into him. Can you? Doesn't it stop at 10 now? All right, we have Whirling Stormdrake, 9 for 8/8 Elemental Dragon, Rush, Wind Fury, Kindred, Immune this turn. So you can get double immune from the Murloc. All right, that'll come in handy. Rush, Wind Fury, Immune this turn. If it was immune until your next turn, we'd have something with that Bone Pile. Oh, did it, Hunum? Well, there you go. Does Kindred happen when it's played or when it's summoned? Is this good with Astral Communion? Probably not. I think you saw better. You mentioned played. Okay. If it was summoned, then I think it would be a buff to the... I mean, it's already probably a buff to the Paladin hero power, like the imbue hero power anyway, but for standard anyway. We're never seeing this reliably in wild, but I mean, you're not going to play this from hand, I don't think. It's cool, but I think it's a little too fair. Then we have Tar Tyrant, 8 mana, 1/12 elemental, taunt and lifesteal, has +6 attack during your opponent's turn. Master Oakheart. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Chat. It's the nuts. Hey, we got the perfect Master Oakheart payoff now. Look at this thing. No elusive. Elusive would really get there. Deck of Chaos. Hadronox. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I think if this card was released, 5 years ago, it would be the nuts, but Rally. All right. 6 mana, 3/6 beast, Scalehide Kodo. It has a little potato guy on him. Battlecry, destroy the lowest attack enemy minion. Kindred, the highest attack instead. Remember in 2017 when there was just like a neutral package of really good value cards that ended up in every mid-range deck? I feel like this is a 2017 mid-range star. I think it's the nuts. But we're not 2017 anymore, are we? You can double this. It's true, you can. Okay, we got an actual... We can you can pick the highest attack instead twice. All right, so far none of the Kindred cards work with the Kindred doubler. What's going on? All right, so Blob of Tar we know is pretty decent in pile decks. I'm surprised this card is so solid. Crater Gator, 4 for 5/4 beast. Until the start of your next turn, the enemy hero can't be healed. I'm trying to decide if one of the aggro Renathal decks would play this. I think they just have better options. Most decks gain armor. How do they? I was thinking about this for Kingsbane, maybe? Really? I don't think I'd play it in Kingsbane. Is it in Beast Hunter? I think it's Beast Hunter or it's nothing, but It's probably nothing. It's a little expensive for what it does, I think. I think for a tech card like this, you want to play a threat and then play a little cheapy thing next to it. You know what I mean? So if this was River Croc stats, which it should be because it's a gator, right? All gators should be 2 for 2/3. I could definitely see this in Beast Hunter under those conditions, but it takes up a lot of your turn, I think. Primal Sabretooth, 4 for 5/3 beast, stealth. After this attacks and kills a minion, get a copy of it. Okie doke. 4 for 3/2 Murloc, Kindred, summon 2 1/1 Murlocs with Rush. Finally, we have a Kindred thing that can affect this. So you play the 3-cost Murloc on 3, obviously, and then you play this on 4, and you get 4 rushing Murlocs instead of 2. Standard power play. Is the Murloc quest is summon, right? Not play. That considered, I think this goes in the quest because it's a Murloc that summons multiple Murlocs, right? So I think it's got to be played. That's for quest paladins so they can die with their whole board full. Fair enough. All right. Willful Watcher, 4 for 4/7 taunt. Death Rattle, destroy the top 3 cards of your deck. All right. So if this was 4 for 4/7 taunt, no text, how do we feel about it? Bless Priest. Like, don't consider the Death Rattle, just consider the card itself. Is 4 for 4/7 taunt worth playing? I don't think so. I think we're a few years too late on that. In Wild, yeah, you think so? Not in Wild? There's a 3 for 3/8 in Shaman that's always frozen, but that's always frozen. So to me, chat, this is 4 for 4/7 taunt with no text in any deck that would play it. So I'm thinking like maybe like it'll be like a Renathal pile deck, whether that's a Highlander deck or a mid-range pile, you know, whichever one, or an aggro pile. I don't know, like the like extra large aggro is kind of taking place of mid-range and Wild, but like, you know, it would be something with Renathal where you don't really care about your cards in your deck, in which case destroying the top 3 cards of your deck doesn't matter. So there's a 2/8 in Shaman for 3 that doesn't see play, Overload for 3. Why do you guys keep listing the worst cards I've ever seen and comparing it to this? This is 4 for 4/7 taunt, no downside, right? It can attack, it doesn't overload you. All it does is 4 for 4/7 taunt, right? Stop telling me about the worst taunt cards that have ever been printed and evaluate this for what it is. I don't know. I mean, like, it could be okay. How is this not better than Blobotar? Blobotar has poisonous, and Death Rattle summon another taunt and another poisonous. I think this is okay. It's interesting. I don't know that it's good enough, but it's interesting. So Ancient Stegodon, 3 for 1/5 beast. Battlecry, choose to gain taunt or poisonous or +1/+1. So this is our final adapt, right? Adapt is 9 options. So it can be a 3 for 2/6. It can be a 3 for 1/5 poisonous, or it can be a 3 for 1/5 taunt. Freaking best card I've ever seen in my life. All right, like two of these little adapt throwbacks are full-on pack filler. They didn't want these to be like, you know, a little bit playable. Fine. Marshland Thresher, 3 for 3/3 beast. After you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield. We already have something similar to this that doesn't see play. The Adis' sister, I forget what her name is, but she's a 3/4 with no tribe that gains Divine Shield whenever you target her. This has 1 less health, a tag, and doesn't care what you're doing with your spell as long as you play a spell. So, is that better enough to be good? Unlikely in Wild. I don't really see it, but I think it's more interesting than the other card, just because it doesn't require you to target specifically this one. Like, you can play your Libram on whatever you're attacking with this turn, and it still gets Divine Shield, right? And then you can trade with it next turn, play another spell either on it or something else, and it gets Divine Shield back. So, I don't know. I don't think it's like definitely not going to get played, but I think it's probably not going to get played, is my opinion. Then we have Petrified Ogre, 3 for 5/5. Starts dormant. While dormant, gain +2/+2 at the start of your turn. 50% chance to wake up instead. It's, I mean, maybe in standard, but probably not. Pterodactyl Egg, 3 for 0/3. Death Rattle, summon a 3/3 Pterodactyl that steals 1 health from all other minions. Egg Hunter. This card is gonna be a 2020 that never leaves your board. Like, I think if you're running an Egg Hunter deck, like a traditional Egg Hunter deck, then this could be okay. Like, I think it's better than other eggs, except that they cost 2. Why you're thinking of Priest? Is this good in Priest? I don't know. Relic Miner, 3 for 3/3. Battle Cry, destroy the top card of your deck. Discover a card of the same rarity. So how good is 3 for 3/3? Discover a card. We have 3 for 2/3. Discover a card and pick a 4th option if they suck. 3 for 1/3 with Poisonous. Discover a spell. The other one is discover a spell too, right? Yeah, this isn't seeing any play. 3 for 2/3. Taunt Reborn, has +3 attack while damaged. Taunt Reborn. Interesting. This is the first good Reborn minion that Paladin has had access to since Reborn became Evergreen. Chat, this whole time I've been waiting for the Making Mummies support, right? Like, the reason Making Mummies is hot garbage is because you have to run hot garbage. This is actually half decent. This is like a decent upgrade for Making Mummies. Is it gonna make Making Mummies suddenly amazing? No, but like, it's taken this long since March of the Lich King for Paladin to get an upgrade to its Reborn pool. That's so funny. I was thinking of the priest that equals attack to health. Undercover Rager. This is a Rager once it's reborn. Curious Explorer, 2 for 3/5. Death Rattle, reduce the cost of a minion in your opponent's hand by 2. So it's a 2 for 3/5. Huh. Hey, a 2 for 3/5 is not bad. That is just fine. What would play this? So in Wild, it would be some Undertaker deck. Like, if I'm going to build for Undertaker, I would 100% play this, right? It's kind of nutty. But yeah, I don't like, if you don't have Undertaker synergy, I don't know that you're going to play this. I think it's like vaguely too risky. Who's Undertaker? It's the 1 for 1/2 that gets +1/+1 whenever you play a Death Rattle. This should be a pirate. Definitely see play if it was a pirate. Rock Skipper, 2 for 1/3 Murloc. Battlecry, get a 1 cost rock that deals oh, you just get the Excavate Rock. 2 for 1/3 that gets you an Excavate Rock. So 3 for 1/3, deal 3 damage to something. Isn't this decent? Trash? This would have been incredible with pre-nerf Sonya. Oh, because you get additional rocks. Step it in rogue. I mean, that's like such a modest use of step. How did it get that rock all the way from the Badlands? Good question. I don't know. I think this is definitely fine in standard. I'm not sure what to think of it in wild. I think it could be okay. I think a deck like there. I think I will not be surprised if this pops up in something. Like this could almost be a Renathal pile card. Like you just play it on 2 and then use the 3 damage whenever it's convenient to you. Like I don't know. Questing assistant 2 for 3/2. If you played a quest this game, deal 2 damage. So okay. First of all, do quest lines count as quests? They do, right? Yeah. I like that it's if you played a quest this game, so after you've completed your quest, it doesn't become stupid like the other ones do. But what quest wants a Merc Spark Eel? That sees play right now. Demon Seed doesn't need a Merc Spark Eel. Quest Mage doesn't need a Merc Spark Eel. Nothing needs a Merc Spark Eel, right? It's too bad because I think this is really neat, but it doesn't do enough. It can target face, therefore broken in the Demon Seed. Fair enough, fair enough. All right, then we okay, everyone who says this card is cute is lying to me. You guys are literally lying to me. This is horrifying. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen. OMG, I'm Marshy, sleepy time for me, but good to see you. Hey Ash, good to see you. It's cute as heck. Literal, like, what are you guys? I've never been so gaslit by a community. I know that this is Jar Jar Binks, chat. All right, come on. This is horrifying. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this is a 1/1/2 beast. All right, it's a beast, which I didn't really process before, but you know, this is a really good card. This is it gets nerfed not because it's too good, but because it's good enough to see play in every deck good. You know, like all the cards like Miracle Salesman tend to get nerfed because like too many decks run them because they're just solid in too many things. So yeah, I mean, like it's just really good, right? Like obviously for something like Discard Warlock, this is just a shoe-in. Like it's super good in Discard Warlock, but you know, it's either good tempo early because it's an early play, or later on it's like full on draws you a card because you have the mana to spend it. I don't know, this is really, really, really good. Also, if you're stepping it right, you will never discard the first card you draw. Pretty good. Probably pretty good with a web spinner. Probably pretty good with lots of things. I don't know. I think it's going to go in every deck. Like every Renathal pile could play this. Aggro could certainly play this. It's just going to be in everything. All right, then we have Sizzling Cinder. 1 for 2/1 elemental. Death Rattle, deal 2 damage, randomly split among all enemies. Solid? I think it's solid, but you'd have to like, I don't know. You'd have to want it for a reason more than just its own merit, wouldn't you? I mean, maybe an extra large Shadow Priest, maybe. Please just go to the second. You don't want to see this anymore. You don't want to see this thing? Well, I'm told it's cute. Everyone told me it's cute. You don't want to look at this? This is like Flame Jugger levels of randomness deciding matches. Real. I brought that up earlier. I came to the exact same comparison. I love the card art. Like I love it. It is good card art. I agree. Feel like you're building around Ellie's? This doesn't seem like a build around Ellie's card. Like maybe you play it. I feel like this is you just want a solid turn 1 card. I don't know. I could see this popping up in like extra large Shadow Priest for sure. But But yeah, we'll see. It is kind of leper gnoming, isn't it? It is kind of like different leper gnome, huh? The fact that you can trade this and potentially get a bit up on board makes me think it's better than leper gnome. I didn't think about it being just better or like different leper gnome. It might be worse leper gnome. Like hitting minions, I think, is generally better with an effect like this than hitting face. But I think hitting something specifically is better than hitting either face or minions. You know what I mean? Like you'd want this to hit just minions so that it's really good when it dies. It like gets you tempo advantage. And if it can hit face, I think you'd rather it always hit face, because then you know, like it's calculated. So I'm not sure which is better, but you know, going back to Undertaker, is it like we get too many good death rattles now? Should I just start building Undertaker decks and lose all my ranks on ladder? All right. Now we're on to the real cards, chat. We're on to the class cards, and we're gonna start off with a banger. All right, this is so disappointing. the only quest Death Knight has ever had. I mean, like, I'm a downer, all right? Come on, you guys know me. I'm the most negative guy. But like, come on, man. Every time Death Knight's supposed to get something cool, get something stupid. Man, we'll decide cards that I want to play with. Anyways, so first of all, the runes are so restrictive. Why? Why does the only Death Knight quest ever printed come with runes? Upside, it's a good rune combination, right? Like 2 blood, 1 unholy is a solid rune combination. It's okay. So we can almost forgive it for that. So it spend 18 corpses, which is doable by any DK deck that can run these runes, right? Like that's not, you don't have to spend the 18 corpses into this or something. You just have to spend them, and they can. So okay, that's a very it's almost a questline priest type of reward, where it's just gonna happen after a certain amount of time, right? But your reward is Tyrax the Bungus, 5 mana, 8/8 undead beast. Death Rattle is you open Terror's Bungus, it has Death Rattle, resummon Tyrax. So when this dies, you get this location. The location lets you deal 4 damage 2 times. On the second time, you get Bungus again. But you have to play this, right? Like, it's not like you pay you spend 15 corpses and then you get this on the field. You have to still pay the 5 mana to do an 8/8 that doesn't have rush and doesn't have taunt. So like, you're playing a 5 mana 8/8 nothing, which like I think would be kind of okay, especially for standard, given that 5 mana 8/8s have seen play in the past. But like, it's 2025, so like the power level is higher to where like a 5 mana 8/8 is harder to see play. But you're down a card in hand to do this, so like your starts are less consistent. Like you're just down a card all game so that you can get this later, like way later. 18 corpses is way later. And it's not a quest line, right? Which, you know, some of you I think is misguidedly think is a good thing. But you know, if this is a quest line where, like, you know, the first 2 steps were, you know, gain 6 corpses and, you know, steal 3 health from your opponent or something like that, you know, at least you get some added survivability while you're going through this whole like train of getting to the terror before you summon it. So anyways, I think that this is like, I might be too wild pilled to even see this in standard, but you know, like, it might be okay for standard. I don't think it's going to see play in wild other than in Marshy videos at least one time. But yeah. High Cultist Heron, 8 mana 8/6 Battlecry, summon 2 Death Rattle minions from your deck, they kiss. So I liked the one from Demon Hunter that I could get Mecha'thun and Myexna to be friends and, you know, win the game that way. That was funny. So I would like this, except that, you know, what's a 10/10 with a death rattle that isn't Mecha'thun? I know they exist. Well, just a 10 attack death rattle minion. They're out there, much like the truth. But the problem is he's on the board, right? So like it doesn't actually destroy the opponent. So I don't know. Okay, so apart from memeing with Mecha'thun, what would we expect out of a card like this? So that Staligan, Fugan, Bungus, whatever they're called, you get 2 11/11, 2 Thaddeus if they're still in the deck. Martian, is your Theorycraft, Stream, DK, Deck, Frost, Unholy, or the Quest? I'm gonna do the Quest for all the decks. Cagehead. It's a much softer deck building restriction than Demon Hunter 1, that's true. But like, to what end? You know? You can run low cost minions, not just death rattles. Sure. I don't know. It's nuts with Octosari. Like, what's a death rattle minion that does like 10 damage to the enemy hero, or I don't know, something else. What's the other octopus? But it doesn't have any tentacles up when it dies, so it wouldn't do anything. Ticking Abomination Mecha'thun? Alright. How are we dealing 1 damage to this? But then if it happens in the wrong order, it's stupid, right? Oh, Reska? Yeah, this is interesting. It's interesting. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play, but it's interesting. I could see it popping up. All right, Reanimated Potato, 5 for 4/3, Undead Beast, Rush Lifesteal costs corpses instead of mana. I think this card would have been enough to revive even DK if it cost 4. I think that would have been really good. So this is going to get played in an extra large DK pile. And you need 5 corpses. You guys think this card is the nuts? Like, what DK deck are you playing in that this is amazing in? Like, I definitely could see it in a Renathal extra large pile as like just another card that you can play to fend off aggro, but like, you guys think it's that good? It's got 3 health, and it needs to be 5 corpses before you can play it. It's not like it's coming down on turn 1 or 2. I think this card is like incredibly overrated. I'm not saying it isn't good. I don't think it's like, oh man, 0 mana Blizzard, no, why you do this to me, no. In standard, surely, right? No, I think you have to spend 5 corpses. It doesn't come down early enough to be broken. I think it's fine. I don't know. I think it's just fine. I might like, you know what would be really cool as far as like a wild application, to come up with an aggro deck where you're running Stitched Bungus and this. And you use this as your activated for the Stitched Colossus, Stitched Giant. What is that thing called? The one that reduces by however many corpses you've played. Because this is probably a better activator than Corpse Bride for that type of thing. Mining Casualties gives you 4 corpses. All right. So if you have one thing die on 1, then you play Mining Casualties, and you trade off all the mining casualties, you can spend 100% of your corpses to play one of these. You think that's broken? Like, if you get that exact start, you get a 4/3? And like, you get a 4/3 and you lost your entire board. to summon a 4/3. I'm not saying it's not good. I think it's a good card. I think it's a fine card. I think it's okay. I don't think it's broken, is what I'm saying. This card alone will make CNE valuable. I didn't think about CNE with this. But like, okay, so the problem with it in Wild is I think in Wild, they're for a tempo deck, which is I think what brings out the best of this. For a tempo deck, even DK is the big payoff. Like we're still reliant on Gen, I think, for tempo decks for DK and Wild. So for this to have any potential of being broken, I think that's what we're looking at. I think right now, I think what this is it just slots into an extra large pile as a decent removal thing. So that's where I'm at. Maybe we run it in the ETC in even. I mean, I certainly would, but yeah. So Wave of Tar. Okay, this is an interesting one. So for 4 mana, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Enemy minions cost 2 more next turn. This is really, really good. Reska is Frost Unholy Rite, so we could make a double Unholy Plague even DK, or we can make a Rainbow DK and run this in even. Pretty solid. How do I feel about it for extra large? I think double blood is really important to the extra large piles. Because you get the best clears, right? Like this is really good as a clearish disruption thing. But it's not good as a clear, you know what I mean? 4 mana for deal 2 damage to all enemy minions is not enough on its own to get there, you know what I mean? So I think it's gonna. I think it's a tough sell to get me to think that we drop a blood rune to make this happen in an extra large pile. I think it's a really strong card. I just don't think it's strong enough to carry. Like Corpse Explosion is strong enough to carry an extra large Highlander card, Highlander DK deck. Maybe Rainbow even DK. That's what I was saying earlier. I think this is enough to, I think, incentivize specific builds of even DK, but I don't know that it's good enough to make us branch out of double blood for Renathal, Highlander, or regular. But you know what? Let's look at the rest of these cards and reevaluate that. So Cryo Sleep, 4 for deal 4 damage and draw a card. Kindred, draw another. Deal 4 damage, draw 2 cards. It's pretty solid, right? I don't think it's a pile card. I think it's a Frost DK, like original Frost DK card. I think it's pretty good. I don't know how good it is. Hard to say. I don't like. I think it would be a good card of a Frost deck, maybe an extra large Frost deck that was kind of like tempo oriented with burst damage, but not sure it's good enough to carry that. Then we have Dread Raptor, 4 for 3/4, Battlecry, draw a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less. Kindred, it costs 0. So this is an undead beast, so you can use undeads or beasts to activate it. Cards with the Kindred keyword get a bonus effect if you played a card of the same type. So I was trying to think if you could like summon a leech and it would activate this, but it doesn't. So what I like about this is in a Plague DK, we could use it to tutor out the 2 for 3/2 Plague generator, and it could be an even. But I think we'd want to come up with at least one other 2-cost Death Rattle that we'd like to play, and I don't think there is one, is there? Kindred can, like, Corpse can keep the Kindred permanently activated. That is true. I'm not really worried about activating the Kindred in the decks that I would want to play this in. I think it's pretty much going to be active most of the time. I'm just trying to think if because there isn't a Frost DK deck that's getting played a lot right now, right? I don't think this is enough to carry that deck into existence. Chill Fallen Baron. Okay, so that's if we're not going even. All right, so we have a few things. We have the corpse thing. We have the 5-cost corpse thing. We have the 4-cost consecrate that makes our opponent's stuff cost 2 more. We have this now. Is it enough to get like a tempo? Like we could go 1 unholy double frost if we want to run this, or we could go double unholy 1 frost if we wanted it to be plagues. Huh. I kind of like it, actually. I kind of like it as a, you know, like 5 is your top end, and you run stitched, stitched, whatever that thing is. The 9 mana 8/8 that gets discounted whenever you spend a corpse. That's 1 unholy, right? To play that one? And we run it as like a 5 cost as the top end of a plague DK deck. Hell yeah, is only 1 rune, right? But I'm talking about the death rattle. I want this to tutor cost 2 unholy runes. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could run up something. And plus, like, if we're not going even, which is what I'm talking about right now, if we're not going even, we want to run the weapon, right? The only reason we don't run the weapon is because it costs 1. We can't run it in even decks. But in an extra large plague DK pile deck, we could definitely run the weapon, and that costs 2 unholy runes, doesn't it? So I don't know. I would run the whole plague package if I was going to do this, and I'm kind of excited to. I'm actually like hyping myself up. I'm going to try double unholy 1 frost plague DK probably. Paleomancy, 3 mana shadow spell, discover an undead, spend 5 corpses to keep all 3 instead. 3 mana, do nothing immediately, but get 3 cards. 3 mana, spend 5 corpses, get 3 undead. I mean, in WoW, this is too trash, right? Like, you're gonna get 3 unplayable cards most of the time. Yeah. It's almost there, though, I guess. Bone Chill Stegodon, 6 mana, 6/3, undead beast. Death Rattle, deals 6 damage to 3 random enemies. Nah. Reluctant Wrangler, 3 mana, 1/1, reborn, Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 undead beast with taunt. 3 mana, reborn, Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 undead beast with taunt. I think that's a little too boring. That's cute though. Doesn't this feel... Oh, it has reborn. Duh. All right, so that's better. I'm stupid. So you actually get a ton of stats with this. I take it back. This is fine, right? This is a good minion that builds up a lot of corpses. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's great. All right. And you can get it with our friend the Raptor. So yeah, I'm in. And we have Crypt Map. 1 mana, discover a Frost Rune card. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. That is really good. Super good. That's all I have to say about that. So that was the end of the DK cards. Actually, like, you know, how often have I been this positive about a DK set? Like, I started off pretty bummers, right? Like, but then, like, we had a lot to talk about here. They actually got some really cool cards. A couple of stupids, but yeah, that's not bad. All right. 1 moment, please. All right, let's see if the next class can live up to the DK hype. Unleash the Colossus. For 1 mana, quest, deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy on your turn 15 times. There's so many times, chat. After you have dealt exactly 2 damage to an enemy on your turn 15 times, you get Gorobashi Bunkus. And Gorishi, sorry, my bad. Different thing. So 5 for 8/8, Battle Cry. For the rest of the game, whenever you deal exactly 2 damage, deal 2 more. Now this is a half decent effect to be in play. It is 15 to be exact. 15. Huh? What? I don't know. So like, I mean, like it's a decent effect to be active, right? Especially if you've built your deck to deal it 15 times. But I don't know. Like it seems expensive. Like it seems slow rather. I don't know that we're getting there, chat. Seems a little slow. Oh my goodness, that thing is huge. It's bigger than a T-Rex. Text has written it should OTK someone the first time you play it. Yes, surely that's how it works. I do think that like if you can randomly pull a Hydralisk from the Zerg stuff, this is pretty nutty, right? Like you would deal a ton of damage. I think it's slow though. I think it's gonna be tough. If this was a Hunter card, I think it would be a little bit easier to do, but I really don't see it. Like even in standard, I think it'll be slow, but we'll see. Then we have Entomologist Toru, 9 mana 7/7, Battlecry. Put each minion in your hand into a 0/1 jar that costs 1. Break them to release the minions. Oh no. I thought it was just you could play it. You're playing a 9 mana 7/7. You're paying 9 mana for a Battlecry minion in Demon Hunter. All right. I don't think so. But like, then you have to play these 1 mana 0/1 jars and break like, ugh. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that Demon Hunter shouldn't be allowed. Like, Demon Hunter should get the rogue treatment where if there's any minion in the class that isn't meant to be cheated out by something that costs 6 or less, it should cost 6 or less. I think that's the type of class that Demon Hunter is. When is Demon Hunter going to get to 9 mana and play this? Anyways, here's a 6 or less minion. Gorishi Wasp. 6 mana 2/8 beast. Whenever this takes damage, get a 1 cost Garashi Stinger. Garashi Stinger deals 2 damage and summons a 2/1 grub with Rush. Interesting. So in standard, you can play this on 6 and then lose. Hey, Burnt. Its beta card form was 6 mana 6/5. This one? Is that true? Or this one? The previous one? They just decided it should be awful? See, that would be a really cool Demon Hunter card if it was a 6 mana 6/5. Yeah. I think this is like obviously going to be a really important card for Quest Demon Hunter in Standard, but I don't really see it in Wild. Fumigate, 2 mana fell spell, deal 3 damage to a minion and all other types of the same minion. All other minions of the same type. Deal 3 damage to a minion and all other of the same minion type. So my thoughts on this are: A, this card would have to deal 3 to be good. But also, why are we releasing a card like this in a quest, like in a set with a quest that requires you to deal 2? Like, wouldn't you rather it be 4 for deal 2 twice or something? Or something? I don't know. And we already have that in Wild, right? It's like 4 for 2 cost now, and again at the beginning of our turn deals 2 again. I think it's okay to power creep that a little bit. It's just like what I don't think a Wild Demon Hunter deck is going to play this, right? Like, this is a pile card, but you know, maybe we're getting new pile cards for Demon Hunter if it's playing. That's not a good pile card. This would be an amazing pile card, but yeah. Bug Squatcher, 4 for 5/3. Battle Cry, deal 6 damage to an enemy minion with a minion type. Why is a neutral tech card in a class? What? Why is this the... Why are they putting the neutral, like, tech hate cards in a class? Why is this in a class? This should be a neutral card. This should be a forgettable neutral card. Why is it a class card? Nah. 6 damage to an enemy minion with a minion type. Alright. 4 mana, 5/3, deal 6 damage to a minion. How good is that? No other restriction. Just if this worked on any minion. Is that a good card? 4 mana, 5/3, deal 6 damage to a minion. Probably for standard, right? Decent. You get a 5/3 and you clear something. It's a built-in 2 for 1. So if we assume that there is enough minion type, like that things are generally going to have minion types, this could be good, I think. But I don't know that that's true. It just seems like an odd class card. Dies to every 2 mana spell removal, but then you've cleared a minion and consumed one of their spell removals. Like it's a 2 for 1. That's good. So it was just like minion types would have to be so widespread though. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to evaluate this. If it doesn't have the minion type restriction, how good is that? And I think it would be good for standard, but I don't think there's going to be enough minions with minion types around for this to be good. I know you think you're funny with the arena thing, but I think everyone who says the arena thing is being boring. All right, so 3 for 2/2. After your hero attacks, summon a 2/1 grub with rush. So this alone activates 4 ticks of the 15 you need for the quest. And it's not bad on its own, right? Like you play it on 3 and you get to either, you know, clear something with 4 health or 2 things with 2 health. It's not bad, right? But you like arena? That's fair. Then we have wait. Yeah, it's after your hero attacks. It's 4 out of 15. Infestation, 2 mana, get 2 1-cost Garishi Stingers. Each one deals 2 damage and summons a 2/1 grub with rush. So you just get this card again. That was what the expensive card got you. So this is 2 for get 2 of these. That isn't bad, actually. All right. The 15 is starting to seem less daunting for standard. Maybe I'm cooling down on my criticisms of the Demon Hunter one, you know, from the lens of standard. Reminds you of Petal Razor? Yeah, a little bit. Slithid Queen, 5 mana, 5/2 beast, rush, kindred, give your hero +5 attack this turn. Okay, these are all beasts, right? So it could be active. It's a 2019 card. Yeah, it might be a 2020, 2021 card, but not sure. Actually, I have no idea. This could be actually pretty decent, frankly. If the kindred, like in a deck where you can otherwise expect the kindred to be active, I think this could be pretty decent. Because you can like clear a taunt and then allow your hero to go face, right? So yeah. Demon Hunter has an AoE that deals 2 damage twice. Yeah, it deals 2 damage this turn, and then again at the start of your turn. I mentioned that earlier when we were talking about the 3 damage AoE. 3 mana, 2/4 beast, stealth. After this attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Why are we doing Beast Demon Hunter chat? Anyways, yeah, for standard, sure, yeah, you would play this to activate the quest, right? The Kindred won't be active from the bugs because they get summoned, not played. Oh, oh no. Oh, all right. So Hive map, 1 for discover a fell spell. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. That's really good. All right, so that was Demon Hunter. I'm actually like, I think this deck could be fun in standard. I'm actually like, I was really like, my eyes rolled back into my head twice when I saw this at first, but it could be something in standard. I'll definitely try it in standard for sure. But I don't see it in wild, obviously. This card's really good though, the Hive map, and I think this could be okay. Situationally, this could be okay, but I don't think the deck is there for either of those. And like this could be all right. You like the map cards? Yeah, they're pretty good. This is the wild card. This one is the wild card that you'd play. Then we have Restore the Wild. Speaking of wild, Restore the Wild. So Druid quest, fill your board on 3 of your turns. And the reward is the Everbloom, which is a 3-cost weapon. After your hero attacks, give your minions +2/+2, which is very good. So the quest will save wild. The thing is, I don't think this quest is... It's tough, right? I think that this gets played in a deck that runs Scales and Spreading Plague. I don't think it gets played in an aggro deck. Because, like, aggro Druid, A, needs all the cards that it can get. But, you know, like, it never, like, quite feel like, in its opening hand, I mean. Like, it can't go -1 card on the quest. In an aggro Druid build. But then it never quite fills the board, right? It gets to like 5 or 6 early, but it doesn't really get to 7 that often. So I don't really see it from that standpoint. I think it's hard to go -1 in hand for this. The reward is really good, obviously, right? So if we're running like Scales and Flipper Friends and possibly Spreading Plague to actually like fill the board a few times in a way that's constructive, Beast Druid though, maybe. The thing is, like, if you're playing Beast Druid and you fill the board once or twice, you've either won or you've lost after that, right? Like you don't... I think you have to be running a passive game plan to be able to fill your board multiple times and then, you know, get the reward. So I that's just what I think. I think that this, like, you could build like an extra large control Druid deck that would play this. But like an aggro deck is either not going to fill up the board completely, or if it does fill up the board for multiple turns, you've either won or lost at that point. So that's kind of what my take on this for wild. I don't want to write it off completely because I think it could be something. Like I think the right combination of cards could be out there. I just don't really have faith in it. The board doesn't need to stay full. I mean, like when you play bees, it summons 4 minions, and if you have 3 already, that counts as 1 proc of your board being full. Sure. I just like I think that if you do that in Beast Hunter, you've already won or lost a couple. Like if you can do that 3 times, I think you've already either won or lost, is my point. Lo the Living Legend, 7 mana 5/5 Battlecry. Your minions cost 5 this game. Wait, go back. How good is this? So this is like, this is Naga Sea Witch, huh? This is what we're doing. Naga, but worse. It's better than Naga. It costs 1 less, and you play this once and then all of your giants cost 0 forever. How do we find it though? Mid-range Aviana. It is kind of mid-range Aviana, right? It's like you'd still play Aviana in that deck because Aviana does the same thing. I mean, like, it's bad, right? I don't know, because like, how are we finding it? Oh, juicy Psych Melon. We could tutor it with Psych Melon, and then what? We could have our deck full of terrible giants. It's worse Astral Communion, right? Like, we could do this, or we could just play Astral Communion and win. So yeah, I guess now that I've like articulated that, I don't really see it. Cool card though. Wish it was a Barnabas. Like, I wish this was a dinosaur. Eternal Blood Petal. So it's a 4 mana 5/1 whose Death Rattle gives you a 4 mana 0/1. Like, it summons it to the board, right? You play this once and then it's just on the board forever. So that, speaking of Barnabas, you know, it is kind of like a one card Barnabas. Whatever, but then you have to like activate this thing. How are we doing that? Rising Waves. We could like run the beast thing that lets you draw a card. Gift of Yasharj or something, whatever that thing's called. The 2/3 taunt tooth. Oh, we could play spammy. Play this on 4 into spammy Arcanist on 5. That's pretty hilarious. All right, I'm in. You know what, chat? I'm in. All right, 5-star card. Best thing I've ever seen. Life Cycle. 1 mana nature spell. Destroy a minion. Summon a random minion of the same cost to replace it. So this is the nutty Hadronox support we've always wanted. It's also good with 0 mana giants. No, it's not. It's not. It's whatever with those. It's good to heal one, but like, you're not gonna play a card for that. So it's a Death Rattle activator. Egg deck. Play this on your Umbral Owl in Treant Druid. Umbral Owl. You're gonna run a card just for that? I don't think so. This is gonna summon Ragnaros to your opponent. I'll like get you a Major Domo. But yeah, it could be an egg deck. I could see that. Egg Druid. Sounds fun. 5 mana hybridization. Draw a 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost minion. Kindred, they cost 1 less. It's a nature spell. So that Kindred is just going to be active. 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost minion. But it costs 5. Bad? I mean, like, okay, for wild, bad, right? But yeah, maybe it's a decent in standard. I'm having trouble like materializing what kind of deck that would be. Can you do some spell damage OTK with this? All right, that's a good point. So is there a 1 cost spell damage minion? Is there? I don't think so. Is there? There's a few 2 costs. There's the 3 costs is when it starts getting really good, and there are 4 costs. Like build your own Ragnaros. Is there a spell damage minion that costs 1 that Druid can play? Arena Druid, draw Spinley, Zeph, Astalor, Renathal, and Gloop. or Floop rather. Maybe. Too big of a tempo loss for Wild. Not if they're setting up an OTK, it isn't. Yeah, the one that deals 1 damage that gives a minion spell damage. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Okay, yeah, maybe this is build your own Malagos, because it'll be 1, 2, and 3, right? So you play this on 5, and then you can like maybe not play the 4-cost one, and you'll have 4 spell damage already. Yeah. All right. Hatchery Helper, 3 mana, 2/5 battle cry. Okay, so first of all, I think that that's interesting. By the way, I don't think that's going to replace the current like Malagos deck that's really good, but it's interesting for sure. Hatchery Helper, 3 mana, 2/3 battle cry. Give your other minions with 2 or less attack +1/+2 and taunt. Isn't that like super good? We're building Egg Druid now. That's just happening. This is an Egg Druid card. Isn't this decent? Nerf bait. You know, on 8 you could play it with Flipper Friends. And on 10 you could play it with Scale. Interesting. I don't know what to do with this. I think it has potential though. All right, 2 for at the start of your next turn, summon 3 2/1 hatchlings. That's a good token support. That's good for the quest, possibly. Yeah, you can. So quest on 1, this on 2, bees on 3, and you've met the requirement once. It's so many hoops to go through for that weapon. I don't know. And it's interesting though, maybe. Yeah, you can just curve into that, huh? So you play this on 2 and then this on 3. That's better than running the quest. All right, trees. 5 mana nature spell. Choose a minion. Summon 4 2/2 treants that attack it. In a deck that wants to play Mulch Muncher, sure. How excited would I be about this if it was a 5 mana summon 4 2/2 treants with Rush? Pretty excited, right? Like, it'd be okay. I don't know though. The fact that they have to go die right away, I think makes me a little iffy on it. All right, they get their own egg. 3 mana 0/2 death rattle. Summon 4 2/1 hatchlings. All right, so you run the neutral egg, you run this egg, and you run the spell. That's the package for standard, the one that destroys something, and you get a new minion of that cost. So we could totally do that in wild with our better eggs. Except this is 4 2/1s. That's not bad actually. All right. Maybe the quest is coming together. Maybe. And are these beasts? Oh, they're beasts. Huh. All right. Maybe we could do Night of the Wild with the quest. Huh. Night of the Wild goes crazy here. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's got me excited. Like, maybe. The stars are aligning. All right. Okay, so here's the thing though, chat. I think at the end of the day, if all of this does come together, it's just going to be the exact same deck, but with no quest in it. Like, I really don't think that quest is anything. Like you could put the quest in the deck, or you could just win, right? Like, why wouldn't you just win? I think you just win. But yeah, I think this is definitely like token Beast Druid support for sure. I think we got something here. Like, we could see some wild stuff. Win or have fun. How about win and have fun, chat? They aren't mutually exclusive, chat. We can do both. We have the technology. I can do both. Maybe you fuddy-duddies can't do both. You put the quest to not dust it because you're mad you got it. Quest more fun, maybe. And like, okay, so I'm just guessing that it's not worth it. It could be worth it if it's like ridiculously easy to fill your board 3 times. Maybe it's just like the nutty value you need to actually stand a chance against an extra large deck that is stabilized. You know what I mean? Story of Bungus. Draw a minion that has 5 or more attack, give it +5 health, and gain 5 armor. This is not the story of Barnabas. All right, I've played that quest. I know what Barnabas does. This doesn't do that. It also looks stupid. Draw a minion. If it has 5 or more attack, give it +5 health and gain 5 armor. All right, what are we doing with this? Is this good in the Malagos deck? You have Dungar and Malagos that don't have 5 attack, and you really want them to stay in the deck for your Blossom anyway, so I guess not. What else? What else could it beans? All right. If we're running, all right, if we don't run the egg and we just run the other stuff, we could run a Knight of the Wild deck. And nah. I was just thinking like you could draw a Knight of the Wild with it specifically if you took out everything that wasn't a thing. Maxie thinks this is a crazy card. Did he say what with? Like what's good about this? I guess like maybe I'm thinking of it like it's too important to get the benefits, because like if it's just that like tutoring a minion is strong in Druid, maybe, but like what deck is going to run only minions that have 5 or more attack in Druid? I don't really see it. It can draw 5/5 or 9 mana. Right, but it can also draw a 4/12, which you don't want to draw. It can also draw a 3/3, which you do want to draw. It can also draw a 3/4, which you don't want to draw ever. I know it draws any minion. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it just that it's 2 mana tutor a minion? And we're forgetting about the rest of the text? I don't know. Maybe it's good. I'm not really seeing it though, because I think like in that Malagos deck, there are minions you straight up don't want to draw, right? There's a lot of them. All right. So Druid actually got some really spicy cards. I don't know about that last one. Maybe it's like I could see a world where it's good just because you want to play 2 mana to draw a minion, to tutor a minion in Druid. That could be something. But the token stuff was good. I think that could manifest into something. Then we have the food chain for Hunter. So 1 mana quest, play a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast. What is a 7 attack beast? Hold on, let me pull up card library. So over to the filters. We want minion type beast, and let's scroll through here. We want to only look at, go away filters, nobody wants to look at you anymore. So we don't want that. We want like Hunter and neutral. So it's 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast. Catch of the day is a 3. Alley Cat, you know, some decent ones. I'm not worried about the ones. Decent 3. Both the worms miss. Messenger misses. It's got to be catch of the day, right? That seems like the 3 attack beast in neutral, or in not neutral. This I don't know. Haven't seen a 5 or a 7 yet. The 3, okay, there's this. It's a 5. Do you mean Corridor Sleeper? Because Corridor Creeper is a 2/5. That has 3. That one's okay. We have the Imbue one, has 5 attack. It's relevant. You can search for specific attack values, but like I need multiple attack values. This is a good card, or it used to be rather. Maybe it's not anymore. Rush Kindred. Okay, so we're gonna see some, I guess. So Kindred cost you less. That's not bad, actually. 7's good. 7 we're covered. Go down to neutral. Oh man, there's a lot of neutral beasts. So yeah, there is Corridor Sleeper. That's true. Could run the Sleeper. Cost 1. Could also run Emerald Hive Queen. So I'm like trying to skim for good 3s now. I think it's Catch of the Day and Crackling Razor Maw are the 3s I would use. We need a 5, right? We can run Mukla. Run that stupid Thresher, Ornery Tortoise, Rust Raw Viper. Yeah, not a lot of 5s. We have the Burrowing Scorpid. Oh, we can run the Crater Gator. I don't know. Seems tough. Seems tough, chat. So then we get Shiok. So Rush, Battlecry get a random 8, 6, and 4 attack beast, set their cost to 2 less. Honestly, I think this will probably be just fine in standard, right? Like, it's a decent value bomb. It has Rush. It's a 9/9. I think in standard this will probably be just fine. I'm not really seeing it in wild though. Like, especially because the reward is to get random stuff. Random stuff in wild is so bad. So much of it is bad. Oh yeah, you could just imbue it. You could just imbue stuff. That's true, yeah. Imbue kind of like fiddles with all that. So maybe. Alright, Neri of the Crater. 3 mana, 2/5. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats. Whenever you cast a 1-cost spell, cast it twice? You could play this in odd questline, Hunter. Probably not, though. 1-cost spell, cast it twice. So you could cast the rocks twice. Like if you get a couple rocks from the Murloc thing. I'm thinking about standard, I guess. Is there a good 1-cost spell? I'm not going to play this for tracking. Fetch. Yeah, see, I'm trying to come up with burst damage. Okay, so if we go 2 rocks, this and a Streetwise Trickster on 8, we're looking at 12 damage. Yeah. Jermungers. Cup of Muscle. Oh, you can Cup of Muscle with this. But yeah, that's true. You can just Cup of Muscle to mess with the attack values too. Cup of Muscle with this actually seems ridiculous, possibly. Like once you have a 0-cost beast, just make it ridiculous. Yeah, this is probably a great card in standard. I don't know that it's good in wild, but you know, at least in standard, this is gonna be the nuts. And then, like, this could see play in wild, frankly. Like this, you know, Maybe it's as simple as it gets run in like a Reno Highlander deck, Reno Renathal Highlander Hunter, but maybe. Awakening Tremors, yeah, you get 6 Tremors and they come down as A2s. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Interesting. All right, so yeah, this is obviously built to go with Cup of Muscles. Now that we've talked it out, this is like definitely a Cup of Muscles card. Interesting. Supreme Dynamancy, 5 mana, give +2/+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield. So you get 5 mana Bloodlust, and then you can lose because you paid 5 mana to do nothing. Actually, I think this is actually probably just fine, especially if you've already played the we're going to come across Story of Karnassa in a minute here, and I think that'll be fine with that. Like you play that on 2 or something, and then later you play this and the rest of your deck is juiced. Like I could see that in a Renathal deck in Wild even. I think it could be okay. You could also like play this as the top end and run Polkelt even. Maybe. I don't know. Ravasaur Matriarch, 4 mana, 5/4 beast, Kindred, deal damage equal to an enemy minion's attack to this. Wait, to an enemy minion equal to this minion's attack. That's not bad. In a full-on Beast Hunter deck, I could play this, right? It's sad because it doesn't curve from Harpoon Gun, right? Like, you can't play Harpoon Gun and then activate this Kindred, so maybe that's a little too awkward. But getting to play this and clear something, and also it's a decent beast, it's probably a little too fair. So 4 mana, 7/5 rush, as long as you've played a beast the previous turn. Again, doesn't curve from Harpoon Gun. Is that good though? $7/5 rush. Meh. Quest activator. I mean, I think it's good on its own merits in standard. Like 4 for 7/5 rush is a lot of stats. It's pretty decent. But yeah, I'm not really seeing it in Wild. With Harpoon Gun, it's a 2 mana 7/5 beast, but you still have to wait a turn. Like that's coming down as a rusher on well, it's coming down for 2 less mana the turn after you play Harpoon Gun on curve. Like you're never gonna play this the turn following Harpoon Gun is my point. But I mean, like it is an interesting card. It feels like standard strong. I don't know that it'll be any good in Wild. A little too fair. Grazing Stegodon. At the end of your turn, gain +1 attack, even while in hand or deck. So it starts off as a 3 mana 0/5. If 6 turns pass, it's a 6/5 for 3. So on 8, when you would play this with a Rhino, it'll be an 8/5. And then if you've Harpoon Gun one of these, you can do that on 6, so it would be a 6/5. I don't know. I think it's an interesting Beast Hunter card. Man, I wish they'd reverted Harpoon Gun. I'm so sad, chat. Story of Karnassa, 2 mana, shuffle 10 1-cost 3/2 raptors into your deck, Battlecry, draw a card. I almost think this is good. Because like, you know, if you're again in Beast Hunter, you know, they want 1 mana 3/2 draw a card, and you don't have to complete the quest to do it, right? You can just draw this and play it, and then you have a bunch of those in your deck. The 3/3 that draws a card that didn't start in your deck, is that that's a beast, isn't it? I don't know that that's good. It's interesting. Bonkers with Buzzard is true, but it's kind of like you can go off sometimes even without a Buzzard. Seems to minus tempo. The quest or just with the 3/3. But I don't know, it's interesting. I would try this for sure in Beast Hunter. Cower and Fear, 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion. The next beast you play this turn costs 2 less. I don't think this is a good card, but I don't think it has a home in Wild, because I don't think Beast Hunter would want to play this, and I don't think extra large Reno stuff would play enough beasts for this not to just be old Dark Mom. Dino Sitter. So 2 mana, 2/3. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random beast in your hand by 1. Not in Wild. Can't go face. Oh, I like it even less. Not a beast, it's true. Odd map. 1 mana, discover an odd attack beast. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. It's probably still good. Like, random minions is really bad in Wild, right? But it's probably still good. I think all the maps are probably just fine in the right deck.